All right. Welcome back to episode 2 of Redacted Reality, our conspiracy segment. This will be dropping every other Monday, so pretty much it'll be every other Monday, I guess, is where we're pinning it, because it will be every other Monday, and you have 2 on this, and then Redacted Reality switching off each Monday. So you'll be ready for those. And this is episode 2. We got good old Dallas here for this one. And as always, Sock's with us as well. As always, appreciate both of you coming on. We're going to dive into one. We let Dallas take a gander. We got a few brewed up for everybody, but we're going to dive into one here for sure, and we might have a surprise second one if the time allows for it. So we'll see what happens here. But diving right into it, I'm going to give a brief synopsis, and then we're just going to kind of ramble and talk on to it. So bear with me here for my reading. The Dyatlov Incident, Russia's creepiest unsolved mystery. In February 1959, nine experienced young hikers set out on a sky trek into the icy Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia. Their leader, Igor Dyatlov, and his team were the kind of adventurous university students who thrived on danger. They planned to conquer the frozen peak known by the local Mansi people as Kalat Sakala, Mountain of the Dead. When the hikers failed to return, rescuers eventually found their campsite, and what they discovered has baffled investigators for more than 6 decades. Their tent was half collapsed, cut open from the inside, gear nearly left behind, and tracks left barefoot in the dark snow. 2 bodies were found near a burnt-out fire, stripped to their underwear. 3 more, including Dyatlov himself, were scattered along the slope as if they'd been crawling back toward the camp. Months later, the final 4 were discovered in a ravine under the snow. Their ribs crushed, skulls fractured, and one woman missing her eyes and tongue. One Soviet reports blamed an unknowing compelling force. That phrase, vague, haunting, and unsatisfying, launched over 60 years of speculation. The theories range from the rational to the ridiculous. A slab avalanche, these are the ranges of theories here. A slab avalanche that struck the tent, driving them into a fatal panic. A secret weapons test, some say failing parachute mines, or even a missile crash that left traces of radiation on their clothes. A military cover-up, the hikers caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Even whispers of an infrasound panic, freak weather, or supernatural forces. When Russia reopened the case in 2019, investigators concluded a small avalanche was the likeliest cause. Modern simulations show a slab of snow could have crushed part of the tent and triggered their fight, a plausible scientific answer, but not one that kills the legend. Sorry. Because the Dyatlov Pass just isn't a tragedy, it's a perfect mystery. Everything about it invites doubt: the radiation, the missing body parts, the Soviet secrecy, and the eerie photos of the hikers took before dying. It's an unsolved riddle between science and superstition, where nature's fury and human fear collide on one desolate night. To this day, the site is still called the Dyatlov Pass, and each year, adventurers visit the memorial at its base. Some go to honor the fallen, others choose to chase the chill of a story that might never make sense. That's my butchering of the reading there, but I think that was pretty rough. But
I thought that one was pretty interesting for sure.
Yeah. No, it goes back to, people have always been very, I think, conspiracy driven with Russia in general. I think Russia's when you go into like a lot of conspiracies, Russia does have a lot of them. You know what I mean? So like they're definitely a hot suit for it. So that's not, I don't think, any surprise to anybody. But that is, I guess what's surprising to me about that one more than anything is that it kind of gives me like, this is going to be a weird comparison, but like the Blair Witch vibe. It's kind of like one of them things where it's like you're coming from just some people that were out there, just doing whatever. It wasn't like it was a planned thing. It sounds like
just a regular hike.
So like it does kind of give me one of those found footage vibe. Obviously, it was so back then you wouldn't have had something like that, but. It is interesting because it's like, I think it brings to event why we're so curious about things like that, because that's something when you think about it, like an everyday, any of us could walk into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's not a scenario you'd have to know somebody. Like not saying you could, but we're all could have something like that happen.
I think it's more or less the details of what happened.
Absolutely.
Happened.
So something about the details doesn't make sense to me either. Yeah. So you go first.
Well, I mean, it's just. Why was the one woman's tongue and eye missing?
Absolutely, that's a big mystery right there.
Oh, absolutely, that's creepy. It's creepy.
But I mean, even if it was an avalanche, do you think that they wouldn't be crushed immediately by the snow? Do you think that they would have the opportunity to because all but what did it say? 2 of them were found in the tent.
Correct.
So 2 of them were found in the tent. So that means that
It was saying there was
But
4,
like,
yeah.
my thing is they're in Russia, right? And we don't really know what time of year this is, but any time of year in Russia is normally cold, right?
Correct.
Why would you be sleeping in the tent in your underwear? So when they were found outside of the tent in their underwear, that's where it really makes you think, all right, what happened there? And then with the woman who's missing her eyes and tongue, that makes you think, all right, that could be, all right, a local tribe that could
That's what I
have
was like, ritual
brought,
kind of
but
thing.
you know,
Yeah, that's what
you
I'm
don't,
kinda
nobody
like.
knows.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to why were their clothes missing?
Yeah.
Like that's where it really baffles me, where it makes you think, okay, you've heard of alien experiences where they end up clothesless, like you don't know where it could be an alien experience. Like people could say it could be Bigfoot, you know? Like
That's fair.
who knows?
That's one theory you didn't talk about. That I saw that people like to theorize that it could have been a Yeti.
Yeah, I'll bring that in too, because that wasn't in the other synopsis. 'Cause I did have that in here. Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
correct.
you know, it's a very cold, rigid region, you know, of Russia. Mountainous. Probably not many people out there.
Yeah,
If
so
there
like
was somewhere for a Yeti.
this is
Yeah.
theories were ranging from scientific testing to infrared sound
Yep.
panic to KGB assassinations to Yeti attacks and even alien encounters.
And I could
So,
say
yeah,
I would
correct.
definitely agree with the nuclear experiments too, because there was a lot of nuclear stuff going on between like World War I, World War II. That was around the same era where they could have been doing a military experiment, but wouldn't they be found with radiation on them still underneath of all that snow being encapsulated?
Well, it said that they did in a little.
It said that their clothes-
It did say that. It did say that.
Their clothes on them?
Yeah. That's,
Okay.
Well, I don't know about on them because it did say there. So I'm not. Let me read that because it did say that they in the. I did read that. I know it did.
Because I
say
mean,
that.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's plenty of theories. I personally don't think that avalanche is the most likely. That's the.
I know that one really baffles me. In 2019, they thought it was an avalanche.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, at that point, like, what can you do? That was over 50 years ago. Like,
there's not much
lot-
evidence.
yeah,
You
there's
just
not-
kind of revisiting the theory for sure.
You're just revisiting the notes that you were given from back then at that point, and
And you got to make your own synopsis from it.
yeah,
No, yeah, absolutely. That's what I was trying to read. It does say about radiation. It says invites doubt about the radiation, the missing body parts, and it was just saying that's part of the doubt because there was radiation at the site.
And I mean,
Correct.
there's been talk about, say, with the Chernobyl experiences, when you're exposed to radiation, you do weird things. Say you rip your own eye out, or like if you're feeling that type of pain. But there was something in there I seen where there was a guy who bit his own knuckle off, basically saying that he was under extreme pain.
Yeah.
And what would that be from? You know, I mean,
correct.
that had
No,
to have been
that's
at
fair.
least like
That's
a
fair.
radiation leak or something that we don't know.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree. No, it's weird as hell. No, that's weird as hell. I mean, that's trippy. There's no.
It's
other-
there's a lot of
The
uncertainty
only
with
reason
the
I
whole
brought
thing.
up the Blair Witchcraft was because it's like I said to me, it almost comes off as like a like a ritual almost. Like that's the vibe I get reading it. It's like one of those like with somebody like a group, like a satanic kind of group, like.
And that's where, when I
that's
seen
kinda what
eyes
I
in the
get.
tongue, I thought, all right,
That's
there's
where
there's
my
local
head went.
tribes that we don't know about that they just
And
kind
I
of
could
like
be completely wrong.
they're
That's
very
where my head
remote.
first went.
like-
That's where it first went.
but you don't think since all that time has passed, anybody would have found them, that local tribe?
That's the
true.
weird part. That is the weird part.
That is true.
But to be fair, like we also don't know the terrain, or maybe it's just so vast that they just kind of like it's one of them situations where they just.
Russia is a very big area.
You know what I mean?
But
Like,
we
maybe-
also do have
and it was
satellite
back then when
imagery
they
and
didn't
stuff
really
now.
have. Yeah, as I said, it's been on and going for 60 years. Something you got to think too. Back then, when they probably couldn't find them because it was so damn vast. They
I
probably
mean, yeah,
couldn't.
back then for sure,
And they might even be dead now. You know what I mean? Who knows? I mean, that might be half of it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who knows? I agree with you though. I agree with you. I'm
Yeah.
just saying it might just be that
You don't
they
know.
just
I mean, yeah,
lived
especially
in the
I mean,
wilderness and they couldn't really find them at that time. Who knows? But I mean, yeah, that's creepy as hell. It could go a lot of ways. It could be an alien.
Russia's definitely a weird
could be
area
Yeti.
and
I
has a
mean-
lot of different conspiracy
Russia's
theories
so
in it.
huge.
Yeah, Russia is
That's why.
massive. It's twice our size.
Yes,
man. It's
and
literally-
that's crazy to
Russia's
think.
literally more than Canada and us combined, just
Yep.
barely. Like it's fucking huge. Yeah,
Like, it's a
fucking
huge area.
it's huge, man. Well, so how do you feel about the Yeti? What do you think about the possibilities on that?
I
Hey,
mean, I like it.
I had a driver that delivered for the shack, and he listened to podcasts every single day about the Yeti existence, and
Really?
about how it's a possible Bigfoot species, and how he explained how it's an alien species, and they're smarter than we are, and they know how to live inland, and they know how to hide from us. So they're like a tribe. It's not like one Bigfoot, one big Yeti. It's actually multiple of them, but
Interesting.
they're an alien species that supposedly know how to outsmart us and hiding, living underground.
Yeah. I gotta be honest. Like when I didn't really realize how big of a conspiracy thing the Yeti was, because like I was a kid, I never really thought about it like that. Because like, in a sense, they kind of play it down.
Well, they have a cartoon. They have cartoons about it. I mean, it's definitely
really
like
a into like that.
Yep.
Can I be honest? I feel like that's part of the conspiracy.
Oh, I agree.
To play it down.
I agree.
So people don't really question it. They're like,
Completely
that's
agree.
just some little kid thing.
Completely agree. I completely agree. What's the damn coaster at Disneyland? I mean, Disney World has got the Yeti coaster.
Yep, it is. It goes frontwards and then it like breaks the track and then it goes backwards. Yeah. That's actually yeah, I went on that one too.
That's trippy. Yeah, no, that's weird. That's weird. The other thing, I don't know if I think I sent it to you, but I don't think I sent it to Dallas. But one of the congressmen, I can't remember his name. I'll try to pull it up on my Instagram that I sent to Saki, but I'll try to find a way to pull it up. But a congressman, I guess, brought up a point that we were talking about before about how it might be possible that aliens live underwater and stuff. Did you see the point that they were getting a video of him walking in and out of like the Congress building or whatever, and he was walking and he was saying that I guess something along the lines of that there's already an existence of 2 to 3 different species of aliens underwater and stuff. He went in like some crazy detail. It was kind of weird. But I don't know how true it is. You know how this stuff is. I didn't do enough research to know if that was like somebody that built that and made that video, or if that was truly him talking.
It's crazy how AI is
context,
now.
but I just wanted to bring that up. But
I never seen that video.
Like I said, I'll have to look into it and make sure. But it to me it looked legit. But we'll have to make sure before we.
But I mean, that's something that I brought up in the recent videos. Like it's the water is something that we really don't have much understanding about.
I mean, what is it? Only 30% of the world's water has been explored. Of the world's oceans.
Yep.
Is that what it is?
It's a lot. It's really not much.
If we've done 30, I'm shocked, honestly.
Because I mean, once the pressure gets so much, you can't really explore that kind of area. And
all right, so people obviously can't see this. Congress are calmly explaining the entities coming from 5 or 6 deep water areas, and this is him walking. Okay, so I have no idea if this is real. Like I said, no idea. We'll have to do diligence on it. I listened to what he was saying, but it was basically talking about how he's, I guess, saying that there is deep water spots that they know about that have basically living life forms.
I mean, I think that's possible.
So,
we've also, I mean, I've seen all kinds of stuff where it's like, oh, look, a new fish. And it's like some clear fish that you can see all the organs and it just doesn't look like it should be part of our planet. You know, that's the stuff they can show, but certain stuff they just can't show to the public.
Yeah, like I said, I take that with a grain of salt. Like I said, I don't want to get caught up with that because very well could be an AI video. We have to. I just
you don't know.
Bring that up, but
nobody knows.
It is interesting
because who's been down there? Just like space, who's been up there?
It's still worth talking about because we don't know. I mean, and it's still worth talking about. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. All right, so I guess what we have to be on the lookout for is don't camp with a tent.
Don't camp with a tent.
You don't have AC. You don't have heat. You're number one. You're already at a disadvantage.
You're exposed to the elements and the Yetis.
One way to get out. You have one door. People already know that door because they see you before you come out of it. So you're already at a disadvantage. I think we've learned that. And the other part is very hard to sleep good. So
Yep. You know another part about that video, and I don't want to dive too deep into it, but like I seen that there was like there was issues on a tree where it looked like somebody had tried to climb the tree to get away from said thing that had mauled them.
I didn't see that.
And that one kind of baffled me too, because then I was like, oh, well, it could have been bears. You know, it could have been bears, but you know, bears can climb trees, like, and it wouldn't have been tore up in that kind of way to think what was that actually was chasing them, and they couldn't get away from it.
Yeah, for real, for real. No, hey, it makes you think, brother. It makes you think, man. All I can say is we're going to go to our Blair Witch experiment soon. We're going to go. We're going to do found footage.
We're going to figure it out for proof. You know, we got to show the audience that.
We're going to go figure this out, and we're going to make sure we have a bomb-proof, radiation-proof tent. It'll probably cost us about $20 million, and we're figuring that out.
Like, GoFundMe is coming soon.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, fund the cause. Fund the cause.
We will have the radiation tent GoFundMe up soon.
We'll do the Blair Witch ourselves.
That's right. Yeah, Blair Witch we're not concerned about, but. Going to Russia is a whole other story.
Yeah, that one's
Blair Witch we can get to. That's a little close to us. We can pull that off.
You know, we could do like a whole a parachute drop into Russia.
Oh, when you brought that up, the parachute mine. Yeah, we're coming in with a mine.
So we just gotta have somebody to pick us up. So anybody that could pick us up from Russia, just tune in.
Yeah, we need a very trained stealth bomber. Absolutely, absolutely. That's what we're looking for. Or we can just get Sock to we can maybe buy a bigger drone he can fly us there.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Yep. Sock has his drone's license, so
That's
at
right.
least we can get there.
Just need to be able to get us in there. That's right. That's right. All right, boy. Anything you guys want to add to that? I think it was pretty good.
I think that was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have
Reality.
too much more I want to add to that. I mean, it was
Okay.
definitely a weird experience.
Oh,
Nobody can really
absolutely.
tell, see what happened.
Especially that's
but-
60-some years ago now. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
trippy. And it's still
Yep.
talked about.
And why was everything that was like weird conspiracy, like alien type shit, happen in like the 50s and 60s? You know, I
No.
seen there was so much stuff that happened in the 50s and
Well,
the
I
60s.
think a lot of it's popping up now too. And the last thing we talked about, I think a lot personally. I think a lot of it's popping up now too because it wasn't. They didn't have the kind of coverage that they have now too. So like a lot
There's
of people
just like, oh, you're
are
crazy.
really, I think, getting into it now that it just
It
wasn't
might
out
have been
there.
a little bit real.
I just don't think the reporting was
Yeah.
at the level it is now. I just personally, I just don't think people
Not even
could know
close.
about it because the reporting wasn't there, or they weren't allowed to. One or the
Yep.
other.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a little bit of both because the media outlets weren't as big as they are now. Number
Yep.
one, and number two, they probably didn't have access. So, I mean, I think that's kind of half of it, in my opinion. I just don't think we had any. It was easy to keep it low key. That's kind of
Because they just didn't have any cameras.
it's kind of easy back then to keep it under hush because you didn't have much. You didn't have a camera everywhere.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
And it
people
was
weren't
very
walking
easy to
around
just
with a
throw somebody in
smartphone.
an institution and say, hey,
Yeah.
they're crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I think a lot of it's coming up now because just a lot of it wasn't. People just didn't know then because it wasn't talked about. You know, where it was, and people thought you were crazy.
Yep.
Sadly, but that's true. So one or the other. But appreciate y'all. That was a good one. Redacted
Yeah.
Reality, episode 2. If anybody's got any ideas or things they want to see talked about, we're diving and do some research on it.
Please.
Come
Big
back
on the
to it next
conspiracy
week.
theories.
So,
we will adapt with
You
it.
let us know. Anything's a go. We're up for anything for sure, as long as it's not talking about something we don't need to be talking about. That's all. I'll put it like that. I was trying to think of an example, but I don't want to give an example. Then people are going to be enticed to say that. So no. Yeah, just know the line. Know the line. Read YouTube's guidelines. Anyway, but appreciate that. We're going to talk about something different here coming up soon, but we're going to get back to it. And Redacted Reality. Keep it fresh. Stay in the Matrix. Get in the time loop. Jump in it.
Get out of the Matrix.
Or stay in it. Who knows?
Stay in.
Maybe. Might be better.
You know? Red pill or blue pill? Which one are we taking?
Just kidding. Oh, man. All right. Well, everybody have a good night, good breakfast, good morning. Go get West Side. And stay nice to everybody. Be the best person you can be. ELE, spread love, spread forgiveness. Let's make this world a little better place. And no matter what you believe in or what you think you believe in, we all can believe in making this world a little better for all of us while we're here. So let's all do that. And this is Redacted Reality, signing off.